Welcome back for another antivirus comparison. We will be testing two business products again today. It will be Comodo Advanced Endpoint Protection and Webroot Endpoint Protection. So we've got Comodo on the left. You guys would notice it says it's at risk. We'll be testing it exactly the same way as we did for our very first video with antivirus protection and or real-time protection will be disabled. We will test to see how well Comodo's auto containment works. The auto containment can also block malware, so it's not just the antivirus module. So if Comodo knows about a malware and it's in the signatures, the auto containment is configured to block the malware as well. So but we'll disable the real-time shields. So we've got Comodo on the left. For security and privacy concerns, we will not be showing our dashboard, but we'll look at the settings from the endpoint itself. So you guys will see antivirus is disabled, firewall is enabled, safe mode with a block request, all the advanced options are enabled. These are the default rules. Okay, under host intrusion, it's enabled with a block request and enabled adaptive under low resources. Heaps rules. These are the rule sets, protected objects, files, register keys, and COM interfaces. Heaps groups. Containment is enabled. Containment is enabled, and to run automatically in containment, there are no exclusions made not to contain anything. These are the automatic containment rules. So if it's a malicious file, they know about it. If it's application or executable, it will be blocked. Suspicious, etc., etc. For you who do notice there's a bit of thunder and rain, I do apologize, but it's now starting to rain. I did close up as much as possible, so I do apologize if you guys can hear the background noise. So this is the cloud lookup. So the cloud lookup services are enabled. We'll look at the advanced protection. Okay, so we've got virus scope with the two recognizers and not to show pop-ups, just to save time during the test. There's no exclusions. Device control, we're not going to use script analysis. All the predefined scripts and auto runs that Comodo gave are enabled. Miscellaneous is enabled. We set the library files to Microsoft level and not anti-malware or authenticate level. So this is the highest strict level, is Microsoft. Okay, so with the real-time shield disabled, we're just going to start extracting malware. So we have quite a bit of malware to test today. We're going to really push these two machines and see how well they can perform, and obviously give as many disadvantages to Comodo to see how well it can still perform with the antivirus or real-time shield disabled. Okay, so we've got Webroot on the right. I'll show you guys how the console looks like. Okay, so this is the console, and we are already in the endpoint side. There is the main preview side of it, but this is the endpoint management console side. Okay, so policies, we created a malware test policy. Basic configuration, this is the live policy. So these are just the basic configurations, so you guys can just quickly look through it or pause the video. Scan schedules, we disable that. Scan settings, everything is enabled except for favor low CPU usage over file scanning, that's disabled. Save non-executable file details and logs, and automatically reboot, we don't want to automatically reboot during our test. Self-protection is on with maximum. Heuristics are all apply advanced heuristics before age or popularity heuristics. The other options are apply advanced heuristics after age popularity heuristics. By default, Webroot leaves it on before, so we're leaving it there. We just enabled the maximum. That's the same except for CDs and DVDs. We're obviously not going to change that, so we left that. Real-time shields, you guys can see all of them are enabled. behavior shield, everything is enabled. Core systems enabled. Where web threat is enabled, identity shield is enabled, firewall is enabled, and it is set to warn unknown and infected. User interface, as we can see the GUI on the machine. System optimization, we're not going to use, in DNS protection is part of the trial, but we are not going to use that. Okay, so you guys can see that this policy is applied to this machine. So it's this machine here, so we only have the one machine, and it's on, it's protected, and malware test policy is applied to this machine. So we'll quickly go back to the machine, so you'll see it's FNCB. We'll go back to the computer name. Okay, let's just start the extraction on the Comodo machine. Okay, so FNCB, as you can see, this machine. So we're just going to quickly disable the protection so that we can start the malware extraction. Okay, so real-time shields is off. Save it, and we'll make it promote it to the live profile. So the quickest way that I know of getting Webroot, until you have to wait for the intervals before it's calling home, we just do a refresh configuration, and as you can see, boom, it's got it and it's red. Okay, so we'll have a look, see at the malware sample, same amount, just shy of 2000 samples. So these machines are going to be super busy and the challenge is high, so we'll see which one of these two will come out on top. So as you guys can see, Webroot looks exactly the same as the home version, so they're keeping it uniform, which is nice. I do like the way Webroot looks, the interface, the color schemes, and same for Comodo, looks exactly like the home version or the free version. So you guys have all of this, your firewalls, your containment, you can stop activity, view connections, the LP we obviously contains, and obviously the advanced options. Okay, let's start the extraction. Okay, so malware is being extracted. Just gonna wait for these two. We'll check for updates, enable protection. I'm just gonna in the meantime open up Process Explorer and Task Manager to save time. Once everything is open and extracted, we'll continue the test. Okie dokie, so all the malware has been extracted, so let's quickly jump back to Webroot's console. And that's the only thing we disabled. Let's just quickly go through the settings again so you guys can make sure that nothing was changed in the meantime. Real-time shield will promote now. Okay, it's been promoted. Let's quickly do a refresh. Let's just make sure Comodo is up to date. Did I miss something? Let's just go back. Real-time shields are on. Let's do a refresh again. Okay, there we go. Okay, so everything is green, guys. Good to go. All the shields are on. I'm going to run the script in containment so that Comodo can allow it to run freely in virtual environment and not later kill it via the virus scope. While we wait for Comodo, let's start Webroot. Run inside containment. Okay, so for those guys who are new to Comodo, Comodo creates a green border around an app, so that's a user's indication that something is running in containment and thus cannot harm the machine. Okay, so it's green border, and let's open up contain tasks. Okay, so Comodo already blocked the malware. Webroot is showing these malwares. Okay guys, I'm gonna let Webroot pile up a bit, because Webroot keeps on giving multiple windows as soon as you start cleaning, and malware is detected later on. It gives you more pop-ups and more pop-ups, and you can sometimes sit with like 5 or 6 of them. So I'm just gonna let it pile up a bit and I'll clean it. But yeah, seems like everything's running. So we already have this one unknown in containment. Comodo automatically submits the files. As soon as it picks up something that's unknown, it submits it immediately to Comodo for Valkyrie to notify or get signatures for that. So I'll just speak a bit louder, I can hear the thunder. And then, but the same for Webroot, we did enable that file should be submitted. I just can't remember where. Oh yeah, allow files to be submitted for thread reset, so it's on. So any new unknown files, I assume Webroot will do the same. Okay guys, so I'm gonna let these two fight it out. Hello, I just want to point out before it disappears, because it happens from time to time during the test for Webroot. I have noticed you guys would see here, I'm not going to hover over it, but you guys will see here at the right hand bottom side there's two Webroot icons. During the test, these windows that are open, they would disappear. Webroot in the taskbar will also disappear, and then after a couple of seconds the icon will reappear, and then we'll get that little pop-up in the right hand corner to show all the modules it enabled. So for me it looks like it's Webroot that's restarting itself, or something is restarting Webroot, but it happened quite a number of times where, like I say, these threads identified windows will all disappear. The icon will go away from the taskbar. 5 or 10 seconds later it will reappear, and Webroot is back up and running again. So for me, that's a little bit concerning. I'm not sure if it is actually a security issue where Webroot might still be active, running, the services are running, but from a like a GUI perspective, it is a bit worrying for me. As you guys can see now, there's two icons. If I hover over it, obviously, so that's just to show you guys what it's doing. But obviously the video will be fast forwarded, so the times when it happened you won't be able to see it. But I just wanted to point that out. That is a bit concerning for me. But otherwise, I think the tests are almost done. We're very close to done. Test has been running for quite some time, so hopefully not too long, then it's done, and then we can look at the results. And we're done with Webroot. Took quite some time to execute all the malware. Still got a couple of errors. I think Comodo is also very close to done. So you guys can see 627 items running in containment. A lot of them have obviously cleared out. But yeah, that's quite a bit of stuff running in containment, and I can see the VM is getting slow. But it is to be expected, especially things running in containment using a lot of disk space. Okay, so yes, so Webroot is still giving us little notifications. And let's just see how much malware is left. Okay, so this is obviously a ransomware note. Okay, let's just see how much malware is left. Okay, but I must say this machine is also really slow. Okay, I think I'm just gonna restart this machine so that we can carry on with the tests. I think there was something close to 1,000 malware still in the folder the last time I checked. Let's just check, maybe this won't take long. Okay, 864 malware is left. Okay, so that's fine. Still says active threads, but we're gonna let's just quickly look at Process Explorer before we restart, because that obviously closed down. Sorry guys, it's a bit slow, but I just want to show the processes before I restart. Okay, let me just speed this up and then I'll show you guys the results. Okay, so never mind, I didn't actually have to speed that up. Let's just make sure. Nope, disabled again. let's have a look see at the results. Okay, nothing so far. That's from app data. It says Lava Soft Assistant. Yeah, so these two definitely shouldn't be there, although there's no rating for that. App data roaming, yeah, that's a weird folder name. So I would say even that looks funny to me, but these two definitely. And then obviously all the PowerShell stuff, whatever. Okay, doesn't seem like, according to VirusTotal, anything is running in memory. But for me, those items do look a bit dodgy. But let's see if they're still gonna be there, because obviously it's from app data. That one I think has already been cleared out because there's an error in the location and that. Okay, cool. So let's have a look see after the restart. Okay, Comodo I think it's close to done. Once Comodo is also done and Webroot's up and running, I'll let you guys know. Okay, so Webroot is just scanning and removing the malware. The test is done on the Comodo machine, so just quickly under the V2 root we'll have a look-see, but this machine is really slow, so I'm not gonna navigate for too much or too long on this machine. It's just really slow. Just wanna see if there's anything. On the Webroot machine we obviously have this error message, so I'll close that. We have this, and then we have a ransomware node, but I can't see any ransomware infection, so I think it was stopped before it can actually do anything. We'll close that. Okay, so it's scanning again. Okay, so directly under the user profile you guys can see this files here that are not supposed to be here. Let's have a look at the desktop. Okay, nothing there. Sorry guys, just bear with me, this test view is super slow with all the stuff still in containment. It's chowing all the resources. Yeah, I think this is going to take a bit long. Just going to check documents and that's it, and then I'm going to reset the container, and I think it's time to restart this machine so that we can start scanning. Okay, I'm just waiting for the documents to open up. Okay, so it seems like Webroot is happy it can't find any more malware. Let's just do one more scan. Okay, so it seems like these two files are in the desktop. That's not supposed to be there, but that's fine. That's the V2 root folder. Okay guys, so I'm gonna close this up. I'm gonna reset the containment. This is gonna take long to get to that point, so I'm just gonna fast forward it, reset the container, and then show Process Explorer, then restart the machine. Okay, so the Comodo machine is finally up and running. It was just super slow, so I just had to restart it. But it's up and running again, so I'm just gonna reset the containment so that we can delete the files. Webroot was scanning and it found more malware afterwards, so I'm just doing a final scan with Webroot, but I think it's almost done. Already started with Heatman Pro, but the last scan didn't find anything, so this is just another scan that I'm running to make sure that it is clean. But Heatman Pro is running, so I'm just waiting for Comodo to reset the container so we can clear the VT root folder, and then I'm gonna start a full scan. But as you guys can see, let's just untick that quickly and tick it again. Okay, container is cleared. Okay, that's good. Okay, so after the restart, nothing funny running. Can't find anything dodgy, so that's cool. So it's clean. So I'm gonna do the full scan now because I see now that the update's finished. So we've got a bunch of files here in quarantine. Okay, so the full scan is gonna take quite some time. I'm gonna let it run overnight. When I do pause the video, but I'm still gonna record for a little while. But I'm gonna start the full scan. It's gonna take some time, and then we can do a quick rating scan as well. That uses purely cloud analysis. Okay, I'm just gonna wait for this to update, and it's obviously gonna start the full scan. Then whatever it finds, I'll let you guys know, which is most probably will only be a bit later, because I'll just need to pause the video but let everything run overnight. But at least Webroot is already scanning, so I'm going to let all the third-party scans run overnight as well, and then we'll look at the results together when everything is. Okay, welcome back everyone. The scan for Comodo is done. It quarantined 790 threads. So we're just going to close that. Webroot VM was turned off when I got at my desk just now, so I'm switching it back on. So I'll just have to redo the third-party opinion scans. I'm going to start now with the third-party opinion scans for Comodo. Just going to do an update because I see there's a new Malwarebytes version 4.4.11, so it's just going to download that. Okay, it looks like it did an unrecognized file scan. So what Comodo does is, as soon as there's a file that's unrecognized, and when it does new updates, it rescans the unrecognized files to give them verdicts. So obviously those were malware. Sure, there's another one again. Okay. Okay, let's start with Heatman Pro. Okay, so as soon as Webroot is up and running, I'll start the scans for Webroot as well. Okay guys, we are finally back and done. The third-party opinion scans on both of these machines took about 20 eons. Luckily I've got enough HP for that. Okay, so all jokes aside, let's quickly look at Comodo first. Okay, let's look at Hitman Pro. Okay, so let's look at Hitman Pro. Okay. Okay, so it seems like only malware found in the malware folder on the desktop. Obviously the 2 cookies, but nothing else that I can see. Okay, so Hitman Pro has found nothing. Let's look at malware bytes. Let's change it by location. Okay, malware on the desktop. Okay, so only malware on the desktop. Okay, so nothing else anywhere else. Even if we change the location, nothing changes at the top with the location. Okay, so malware bytes didn't find anything else. Let's look at it. MCsoft, location. Okay, location does not change. Okay, so malware desktop. Okay, so no malware anywhere else. Norton Power Eraser, didn't find anything. Oh, sorry guys. Okay, let's look at Kaspersky, virus removal tools. Okay, no threads found. Close that. Let's look at Process Explorer. Okay, I can't see anything funny or dodgy running in memory. Let's look at startup items. Okay, nothing in startup, completely clean. Let's look at the quarantine folder. Okay, desktop. For anyone who's wondering what this file is, you'll see if you want to delete it, it's got to do with Norton Power Eraser. There was an update for the app, so it seems like it's a temporary file or something that it uses. So NPE, so that's got to do with Norton, so that's not malware. Downloads, that's same with Norton as well. Documents, okay, nothing here. That's just a copy of my malware execution, so that's clean, nothing there. Pictures, okay, nothing funny in pictures, no additional files and folders anywhere else. V2 root folder is clean. Yeah, so I would say this is an excellent result from Comodo, considering also the real-time shield was disabled and it was just relying on the rest of the modules. So you guys can see real-time shield is still disabled. Let's move to Webroot. So Webroot did a virus scan. It was happy eventually. It said there was no more threats, so we started scans with the third-party opinions. That's just a Comodo scanner. Okay, so let's look at Hitman Pro. So malware directly on the C drive, and then under my user account, app data, program data, also app data again. So quite a bit of malware up until here, and then these are the malware that's on the desktop. Another one on the public, another one that starts up roaming, malware samples, etc, etc. So yeah, the machine is obviously infected, it's not clean. Okay, so let's open up Comodo again. Okay, so yeah, Hitman Pro, looks like a couple of nasty stuff. Okay, let's look at MCsoft while we're here. Okay, so we obviously have all these error messages. I wanted you guys to see that. We have this, and we have the text file to say obviously there was ransomware infection, but I can't see that there is, but we'll go through it again. This is obviously the instructions for that. Okay, so MCsoft, let's change by location. So you'll see obviously here it will change as well. So directly under C drive, and then program data as well, and then this XXX, yeah, doesn't look kosher. Might be some malware trying to do naughty stuff, but yeah, so we've got that. And then obviously app data still. You'll see on the left that obviously the malware names are changing as we are moving down. Okay, we're almost at the bottom. Okay, so then also again directly under the user account, and then public, and then obviously a couple of tasks that are supposed to run. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 tasks, 5, 6 tasks. Okay, cool. So that's not looking good. So let's close that. Okay, so let's just close MCsoft. Okay, while we have Kaspersky open, so it found 18 problems, then obviously one running in memory. Also a task obviously to run, so it keeps going into memory every time. The same ones that MCSoft found. App data as well. Another couple of tasks. And yeah, so it's not looking good. Let's move to Northern Power Eraser. Okay, those same ones again. So all of the severities are high on them so far. 42 problems. And then obviously Windows Defender also pops up randomly, so it seems Windows Defender wants to get in there and sort the malware out, because apparently Webroot can't do it. Sorry guys, I just had to make that joke. Yeah, so app data again, then obviously a VB script. So it looks like a couple of nasty stuff. This machine is definitely not clean. Let's close that. Nope. MCSoft we did, Kaspersky we did, oh, and then Comodo only found 3 problems. App data, malware on the desktop, and then a hijack exe. That's abnormal system settings, obviously something that modifies system settings. And let's look at our trusty Malwarebytes, location, cap documents and settings, couple of library files, program data, app data, and then obviously malware on the desktop. And then let's go back up again. Yeah, so then there in public, fake Skype again, and then system 32, and then a couple of registry keys, quite a lot of registry keys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, quite a couple of registry keys. So Malwarebytes also not happy. Let's close that. Okay, Kaspersky I can't minimize, unfortunately. We can just move it out of the way. Nope. Kaspersky wants us to remove the malware. Okay, so obviously McAfee Security Scan Plus, all that third-party nonsense installed again that you normally get with Adobe and all that stuff. So we obviously have one, according to me, PUP that installed. Let's look at the files. Okay, desktop seems to be fine. And downloads seems to be fine. That's the Webroot installer. Add documents, 1, 2 unnecessary files. And then I think this might be partial ransomware infection. So we obviously have these 5 files. I'm not sure if they were actually pictures, but I'm assuming they are. But if they're not supposed to be in here, but I think this is ransomware. Yeah, so the extension changed to TMP, so yeah, so I would label that as a ransomware. So most probably it started the infection, hence why we also had that other notepad file open ransomware, so I'm assuming that goes hand in hand with that one. So most probably started the ransomware infection and then Webroot stopped it. Okay, so pictures not clean. Let's look at our task manager. Yeah, same problem as the last time with some of the other vendors. Task manager opens up and then it just closes down. So I'm using the shortcut keys to open it, and as you guys can see, it just keeps on closing down on its own. Okay, that is not good, so I can't check the startup items via that. Just want to see if I can maybe see services that are just quickly going through it, guys. So I might miss something. If I do, I apologize for that, but I'm just quickly going through it. So obviously there's the McAfee one. Not sure, I don't know about this service. I think this one looks funny, guys. I'm not aware of any service of this name. Let's maybe see if we can do it this way. Okay, so let's quickly, so I guess this is what I wanted to do. Let's just see if anything is running. Okay, so we obviously still have our little pink bird. Then obviously this is not right. So 1, 2, McAfee that I'm labeling as a PUP. Then obviously a bunch of task schedulers, but obviously that was the malware that the other vendors found. A lot of tasks that are set to run. Someone is labeling Webroot as malware. And yeah, okay, cool. So that's the Comodo one. So obviously another PowerShell, something opened up now, closing. Yeah, obviously no way that I'm trusting this Webroot machine. Yeah, just quickly going through the results. I'm not going to spend more time on it, but yeah, clearly, luckily, seems like the ransomware infection was stopped in time. But obviously, if those were 5 pictures that was super important to you, I hope you have backups of that. Yeah, so a clear indication. I think it's not rocket science to see who's the winner here. And obviously Comodo had one big disadvantage. The antivirus real-time shields were disabled, so it had to rely on the other modules to protect itself. Let's see if we can quickly have a look at the logs. The last time I checked the Webroot dashboard, it obviously showed there was a lot of malware, but I've been signed up and I'm not going to sign back in now. I just want to see if we can look at Comodo's logs quickly. Okay. Okay, so obviously there will be logs for the antivirus because the containment also uses the antivirus signatures. Okay, so that's fine. Virus scope, didn't pick up anything. Firewall events, quite a bit of firewall events. So obviously this malware wanted to talk out, was blocked. Hips. Okay, that was also in Norton Powder Eraser when I did the update. Okay, so this is malware scanned online and found malicious. Okay, so Hips did its job. Containment events, obviously a bunch of containment events. Okay, so yeah, I think the result speaks volume, guys. We had one endpoint protection where everything, or the one of the most important modules is the antivirus to provide the real-time protection via signatures and heuristic scans or whatever was disabled. And we have zero infection. Nothing changed, no unnecessary files and folders. The machine is completely clean and safe. Where for Webroot everything was enabled and we have a badly infected machine. So you guys can make your conclusion. What you guys thought about this test, please leave your comments down below. But this is just one of many reasons why we recommend Comodo and why we use Comodo ourselves. But we do all the tests as fair and equal as possible. But yeah, well done to Comodo. It just reaffirms my belief in Comodo. We only have, I think, maybe 6 business products that we can actually test. We already tested Kaspersky and F-Secure. We did Comodo and Webroot, and I think we only still have Viper Business and Trend Micro. So that's the next video coming up, is Viper Business and Trend Micro. And then from there on, if you guys want other mixes and matches, let us know, because we're going to test the business products up until all the trials have expired, and only from there on we'll go back to home products again. So let us know which other mixes and matches you guys want. If you want Webroot to versus another one, or Comodo to versus another one, or Kaspersky or whatever, let us know, we'll make it happen. And then until next time guys, thanks again for watching all our videos. We do really appreciate everybody, and until next time, see you soon.